What's up everyone, I'm the Scarred Soldier and welcome back to Nostalgia Glasses. It's been a huge month for games. Just last week E3 happened and we had some amazing announcements. One of my favorites being Metroid Prime 4. I'm a huge Metroid fan, and seeing the number 4 with the Metroid logo just made me so excited and giddy like a little schoolgirl. That's not what we're here to talk about today. Oh no. Today we're here to talk about a classic platforming game, Crash Bandicoot. So let's go ahead and dive in. That's right, this week we're hopping back into the PlayStation era. Last week we checked out Bust-a-Move 4 and Bust-a-Move 99, and yeah, this is just a week after the last episode. And when I finished episode 2 of Nostalgia Glasses, I sat down and I thought, man, what kind of game do I want to play next? Like, do I want to check out Batman Beyond Return of the Joker on PlayStation 1, or God forbid, Street Fighter the movie? And I kind of came to a realization. The Crash Bandicoot series is getting a remaster here at the end of the month. In fact, it's just next week. And I thought, hey, you know, this would be a great time to dive into the box of Wampa Fruits and check out Crash Bandicoot. Cut back to E3 2016. Sony came out strong that year, and when Activision announced Crash's return in Skylanders Imaginators, it was met with groans and sighs. Were we not going to get the new Crash Bandicoot game we all hoped and wished for? Was it all for naught? Whatever happened to the orange Bandicoot thing? Then, a ray of hope. Sony announced the original 3 would be remastered for the 20th anniversary of Crash Bandicoot, and cheers were heard around the world. Jump to the PlayStation Experience 2016. The Crash Bandicoot remake was officially titled Crash Bandicoot Sane Trilogy. Using Naughty Dog's original level geometry, they rebuilt the game from scratch and added in their own art, animation, and audio, making it what they considered a Remaster Plus, with its official release date being June 30, 2017. Now back to the original games. As I mentioned, next week the Sane Trilogy comes out, and I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a great time for gamers and even first-time players to play Crash Bandicoot. What did the original games play like? I've always wondered what the big deal with Crash Bandicoot was. I never grew up with it. I grew up a Nintendo nerd. So I've always wondered, what's the big deal? Early this year I actually got a PlayStation 1 and I decided to grab all 3 Crash games and all 3 Spyro games. So I finally get to check them out for myself. So let's see how that ends up. Crash Bandicoot was released on the PlayStation 1 in 1996. Originally titled Willy the Wombat, he was changed into a Bandicoot for some reason. He was an Eastern Bard Bandicoot before the evil Dr. Neo Cortex and Dr. Nitrous Brio decided to capture and evolve him into what he is today. Crash proves to be immune to the evil Doctor's Cortex Vortex rays, and apparently Crash's brain is so small he's immune to being so evil. No, seriously, he seems like such a moron sometimes. Crash manages to escape from the evil Doctor's clutches, but Dr. Cortex feels like Crash is going to come back, because apparently he has Crash's girlfriend Donna captured, even though you can see her here, and here. Not a very good captor if your hostage isn't where she's supposed to be now, is she, eh? Now on to the gameplay. If you don't know about Crash Bandicoot, it's your standard platformer. You run around, jump on stuff, spin around and knock stuff away, and collect these little things called Wampa Fruits. You jump, spin, and explode your way through 32 different levels, each with their varying degrees of difficulty. You start off on Insanity Beach, where you learn the basic controls and meet Aku Aku, a witch doctor who resides in the wooden mask you collect. Aku Aku acts like your health bar. The more you collect, the more damage you can take. When you collect 4 of them, you turn invincible for a short amount of time. And you can run through boxes to smash them, and enemies don't hurt you. Just don't fall in the pits. That still kills you. Each level in Crash Bandicoot has, well, boxes, and boxes act as a collectible all on their own. There are a certain number of boxes on each level, and if you destroy them all, you gain a crystal at the end of the stage. Certain levels have certain crystals that you can unlock, and that will help you complete the levels through your time playing the game. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at the game, and I'm leaving any and all completionist stuff to the completionist himself. Gerard, if you ever watch this, how do you do it? Along with the boxes, Wampa Fruits are another sort of collectible you can collect, although they're more of a currency. Collecting 100 will grant you an extra life, and in my case, I needed it. Crash Bandicoot features some amazing boss fights as well. Each boss fight is different, implementing unique mechanics. It may take a few times to actually figure out their patterns, but when you do, they become pushovers. But that's not to take away from the fights, which are fun and again, very unique from each other. Some of the level designs in Crash Bandicoot, in my opinion, were just plain horrible. almost like someone put some ideas into a hat and pulled them out at random and just threw them together. For example, the level Road to Nowhere has you running and jumping across a rope bridge, dodging boars and trying not to fall off. It's not very easy. And while I'm on the subject of level design, some levels seem to be reused. Road to Nowhere's assets were used in a later stage on the third island named the High Road. Both levels are similar, but with one being harder. Another great example is that of the Temple Ruins and the Jaws of Darkness. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much I can really say about the Crash Bandicoot series that hasn't already been said. A lot of YouTubers have already covered it. A lot of players have already played it. So what can I say that, is different from anybody else? Well, I guess in my case, I'm a first-time player. It's my first time playing the Crash Bandicoot series, and it's more along the lines of a first-time perspective. As I've stated before, Crash Bandicoot's a great game, but it has its flaws. I've lost so many lives playing this game, and I've restarted many times, but that didn't take away from my fun. As is the case with this YouTube series, I have to decide whether the nostalgia glasses are on or off, and unfortunately with this game, I definitely think that they're on. The controls are stiff, and that's not good in a platformer series. Now, if they change that in the later games, I might be able to forgive them. But when you have a platformer game with stiff controls, it just doesn't work out. It makes people not want to play. And in the end, by the time I finished the game, I was actually playing this game on my Raspberry Pi because this just makes it easier for me to record. I actually had to use save states just to beat the game, and I know, I'm a horrible person, but that's just the way it is. That's the way I played it, and so that's it. Well guys, that's all I really have to say about Crash Bandicoot. Be sure to check back tomorrow when I hop on into Crash Bandicoot 2. And if you like what I do, feel free to share it around, like, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. You don't have to ring that little bell like everyone's been saying recently. It's really annoying. But yeah, I'm the Skyward Soldier, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh boy.